Welcome to Real Estate U with Letty Ann.
Welcome to Season 2 of Real Estate U with Letty Ann. And today we have Simeon Canha. Welcome, Simeon.
Thank you, Letty Ann.
I love your name. It's so cool. And Simeon is with Family Union Insurance.
Yes, that's correct.
Locally owned insurance company here in the Kansas City metropolitan area.
Yes, Letty Ann.
Selling insurance in Kansas, Missouri, and you also told me Colorado.
Yes, that is true.
All of our Colorado viewers, you can connect with Simeon as well. I believe we have contact information below. How did you get? You seem very young. We just met today, and I'm grateful for the introduction.
Yeah.
How did you get started in insurance? And tell me about this family-owned business.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I am still quite young. I've been in insurance since I was 15 years old.
Okay, hold the phone. How do you sell insurance at 15?
Well, so I'm not allowed to sell anything.
Oh.
So I was not selling anything, but I was involved. I was going door to door, generating leads. I was actually working for a family friend at the time.
Okay, so you're door to door generating leads. So have you ever considered getting a real estate license? Because this is what I encourage my associates to do. Go door to door, let them meet you face to face. So would you consider getting a license?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Because, I don't think I would want to do that part-time while trying to do insurance full-time. Honestly, I just don't really think that would be very fair, to the people that I'd be representing. And then
Speaking my language,
honestly,
Simeon.
I've learned a lot about insurance, but there's a lot that I learn, and so I'm sure real estate's probably the same way.
Very much so.
If I had to guess.
It is.
So,
and what you know well, and know it inside and out. So don't try to be something for everyone. We really have niches here, and that's why we're professionals, and we're full-time, and I eat, sleep, and drink real estate. Do you find the same with your insurance?
Yeah, for insurance, I don't really enjoy, trying to learn that much about real estate, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's good. So we've covered that because I'm kind of just trying to stress the importance of hiring an expert. An expert in their field and not a hobbyist and not someone who's dabbling.
Right.
It's important.
Absolutely.
It's really important. So I encourage people to shop, even if they're shopping for a realtor. I encourage them, interview 3 people. Who do you feel the most comfortable? Who's giving you the most value? Do you think that's the same in the insurance business?
Sure. Yeah, I would really say a lot of questions people would ask is, why do I even need an agent? Can't I just go online, get my own insurance? Or what makes one insurance agent better than another? And I think there's a connection with real estate. I think it's very similar to trying to go off and buy your own house. It may sound like a good idea at the time, but the more houses you look at, the more problems you see, the more you're kind of going to realize, maybe it would benefit me to get some experience and talk to a few people, like you said, 3, probably a good start.
Yeah, I mean, it's wise to do that because you're likely going to create hopefully a lifelong relationship with that person. So you said family owned and operated business. So
yes,
who started your business and when did it start?
So my dad, funny story with that one. Me and my dad worked together. I used to work for a family friend though, for many years. So really only the last 2 years it's been me and my dad working together. We've got 4 offices right now. So we do Missouri and Kansas. So we've got 2 in Kansas, 2 in Missouri. And, we kind of remotely, work for Colorado. So, we have some clients out there and clients that own properties in both places. So that's why we picked up Colorado actually was just to serve Kansas City folks,
So those you knew here that had property there. I hope to be on your list of who owns property in Colorado. In the next 5 years, it's on my list.
Good.
It's one of my favorite states.
I'm sure you know a good realtor. So
I do. I know several good realtors in the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
So, Simeon, tell us what's your most popular insurance type that you sell, or what? Let's start there.
Yeah.
And maybe let's focus in on homeowners insurance and the importance of homeowners insurance. Now, granted, we all have to have homeowners insurance. It's like we have to have car insurance. So what does that look like?
Right. The importance of homeowners insurance. And
yes.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people, I've always wondered, what's the difference between one company or another? Which company should I go with? Are they really going to pay what they say that they're going to pay? What makes one company different than another, right? I think is really the question. And, something that I've learned from going door to door, you talk to a lot of people, you hear a lot of things. And one of the things that I've learned and what I actually really recommend, which might sound, unusual, but I actually, if you know somebody who is a contractor or, some people, they work with a lot of, water restoration, things like that, or someone who's a roofer. Or if you don't know a roofer, look one up online and call them.
Maybe
ask them.
Call 3 of them.
Call 3 of them.
Just
literally ask them which insurance companies pay claims.
That's some great advice.
That's great.
So which insurance companies pay claims? So that would be after they have investigated homeowners insurance, then they're selecting a roofer and they need to be sure that they're covered under that company. Right. Genius advice. I mean, I don't know that I would think all that through. I would just, So can someone change insurance companies if they already solicited a contractor? That's
a really good point. It's actually really easy to do that. Insurance works with effective dates. So that's how we make sure people's policies are always current. We never want them to have a lapse, because if there's one day where we're missing it on their policy and it rains, we don't want that. So it makes it really easy. We line up effective dates, and a lot of people don't know that. They think they're stuck until their policy renews. So they don't even really consider replacing anything.
There's some awesome points here, Andy. They don't have to wait till their policy renews.
Right.
Because you can actually
switch
it's like
anytime.
If you sell a car, like you're in the middle of your policy, but you just sold that vehicle.
Right.
You're likely going to get a refund if you paid the full year.
Exactly.
Same with homeowners.
Refund. Right.
Wow.
Right. Exact same thing.
So shop, folks, shop, and talk to. I always say 3 different vendors.
Right. That's really good. That's really good to hear. And that way you can kind of get some inside information of how things really work. I think when you watch the ads or when you see commercials on TV, you see a lot of the same terminology over and over again. But, why not talk to somebody in your local area and ask them, hey, this company says that they're always doing this. Have you noticed they pay you pretty well when you're replacing roofs? Just kind of
ask questions.
Yeah. Check your facts, with a couple, sources, people who would work with insurance companies. It's a great way to go.
Is it like to be sure their claim is real? Is that what you're saying?
To be sure that the companies really pay claims. And not only that, in your area. So that's a big thing. Some companies may be great elsewhere, but they're not great in our local area. So,
I ditto that. I can ditto that.
Oh, good.
Some companies, they're corporate companies, but they're in our area, national companies, national brands. So why would they go with an independent versus a corporation or a national company? Right. And I could talk to you all day about that reason. But what do you compete with national companies? You must. I mean,
we do. And the nice part about it is because we are local. Really, one of the reasons we didn't want to pick up Colorado originally was because we're like, we know our rates are good in Kansas and Missouri, but are we really going to be able to offer people good value in Colorado? Or should we just, find them a good, carrier out there, somebody we know and trust? But, what we do is there's 2 different types. One is independent and one is captive agencies. Captive agencies only have one product. So that means they can only sell one company. I should
be taking notes. Sorry, Simeon. I really feel like, but I'm going to watch this like 3 times because I'm hearing a lot of valuable content for me myself.
It's a great show. You should subscribe to it.
Yes. So while I'm hold the phone, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Letty Ann and Associates, so you're sure not to miss any episodes coming up. And of course, we're live now. However, this show will air in spring or early summer. So stay tuned. So we encourage you to subscribe to our socials. What's your social? Let's get you on. Let's get some folks following you, Simeon.
Yeah.
Where can folks find you?
Family Union Insurance.
On Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff?
Yep.
Family Union Insurance.
Family Union Insurance. Yeah, we're real big on Facebook.
Good.
So message
and hopefully
us there.
you're going to get bigger right now.
Yeah.
So back to your competition, I really want to hear about you competing with national companies.
Right.
Because people are shopping, and it's not always about the rates, right? It's
right.
Not, it's about...
Definitely.
So
definitely.
Continue on that.
Because if you just think about it logically, especially the companies you see in commercials, they're in a lot of states. And insurance works by, they call it the law of large numbers. So the people in the coastal states, when there's hurricanes and things, do you really want that impacting, your insurance? Do you want to be in that group of large numbers or not?
So it affects other people if you're in with a national company and there's a national disaster that could affect your rate here in the Midwest?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're in that pool of people. You will end up paying, the difference because, the company is trying to stay profitable. But how that works in your advantage is there's two types of companies, as we were talking about before. There's the captive companies. They only offer one product. That's like your State Farms, your Farmers, Allstate, those guys. Okay. Their agents have to sign a non-compete, which only allows them to sell that product. There's other companies who, even large companies like Progressive, Nationwide, Liberty Mutual owns one called Safeco. You can find them on the independent market, but they don't do advertisements really. So you're not going to find a whole lot of advertisements on those. I mean, Progressive you will, Nationwide, but there's some other ones that other companies will own that you can't find. But you can go to an agent who's an independent and he can find them for you actually. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them, they actually have software that lets you get access to all the rates at the same time. So you kind of, the agent will go on there and he'll actually shop for you for quotes. He'll compare, Nationwide, Progressive, that type of thing. And that'll save you a lot of money. But not only that, you want to talk to the roofers in your area. You want to make sure that these companies will actually pay claims in your area. But that's why it's good to go to a local guy.
Like yourself. So contact Simeon. Information below.
Yeah, we are local, Kansas City and Missouri. Been local for almost 20 years. So. And
even for a conversation, right? I mean, it's not a commitment. Maybe they just call you and say, I like what I heard on the podcast. Can we grab a cup of coffee? I've got some questions about my insurance.
Yeah.
Is that something that you'd be open to?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of information on the site. We make videos to try, because we know people's time's important. So we share them on our Facebook. And we try to make videos to, illustrate these things to people and help them understand in, 30, 60 seconds, everything you need to know type deal.
Videos with you in it?
No.
Do you just have videos made?
Yeah, we like whiteboard animations and things. It's got the little guy drawing and, it's kind of cute.
But you'd be cute on a video.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
So
we'll try.
That's what I tell realtors. Put your face in front of the video. I see the house now. Put you in front of it, because people are going to know, like, and trust you, Simeon.
Yeah. Thanks.
So why would someone choose one agent over another agent in your experience?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that. It's kind of like the one thing, like, why choose one realtor over another? Well, yeah, exactly. When it comes to insurance, do you really want the part-time guy? Because claims is really a big thing. So especially say you don't want to go the captive route, so you're calling a guy who actually can shop for you. But now that he's shopping for you, how many times has he actually done this, and can he actually tell you the likelihood of these claims actually being paid by the companies he's putting you with? There's a lot of options. We have over 40 options. It changes between 40 and 70 options of carriers that we go through. Now, some of that's for commercial. It's not all home and auto, but still, there's a lot of options and there's a lot to keep up with. So you want to make sure in your local area, are these companies currently paying out for Kansas City, Missouri? A great example is like wind and hail claims. Some companies, on the fine print, they pay them in what's called actual cash value, which is like how the company would reimburse you for a car. Like an old one, they'd subtract depreciation before they pay you out. So it'd be like $200 per year for 10 years or for 15 years, right? So what that is on the insurance side is you can kind of think of it like it's an invisible deductible. So if you have a 10-year-old roof, you have a $2,000 invisible deductible that you didn't know about it until you tried to file the claim.
And that's the only deductible, $2,000 on a roof? That would be their only deductible?
Well, it would be on top of whatever their other deductible was. So say they had $1,500 or $2,500, which is somewhat common. So they could be paying nearly twice what they thought they would be paying. And a lot of people's roofs, honestly, you can get it replaced for $4,500, to $6,000. So at the end of the day, your roof you thought was covered, and so you were paying, $1,600 a year, and you thought you were covered, and really there wasn't a whole lot of use to what you're paying for, which is kind of a bummer,
So let's talk roofs. We have 5 minutes, so I really want to ask this question. I have several questions, so I hope you'll come back.
Oh, okay.
Roofs. So let's talk about shake roofs, one.
Oh,
because
great.
So we sell homes. It was all the rage back in the day. So and I mean, if you go to Table Rock Lake or Big Cedar Lodge, I mean, everywhere you go down there, it's a shake roof, and nobody's nobody's whining about it. You know what I mean? But okay, we get it. Shake roofs are out. We get it. Okay, everybody, we get that. But they were all the rage back in the day. So I'll try to sell a home, or I'll have a buyer, and of course they're like, oh my God, it's got a shake roof. And they think like the world is ending.
Right.
I'll never get that insured. Well, that's not true, because someone's living there and it has to be insured. So no one will insure that is wrong. So what's a good response for any realtors or homeowners that are watching that have a shake roof?
Totally.
What do we say to those? Oh, that'll never be insured. Well, that's not true.
Right.
But what's a good response to that?
Okay, that's extremely important.
I know.
So for a lot of those individuals, they may have been with a company for 20 years. They think they're getting a killer deal because of, the loyalty discount. I would advise calling a few companies, look them up on Google, call some local insurance agencies. You want to specifically find someone who's an independent. They can go out and shop for you. They can compare many carriers in the way that they'll insure your shake roof. There's certain carriers that don't really want to, but will, and so their prices are literally twice or 3 times what other carriers will pay.
Because of the shake roof.
Exactly.
So they'll do it, but maybe some won't do it. Some will go, no, we're not insuring a shake roof. We're just not doing it. But people will do it, and it might cost you more.
Right.
Or you might be simply covered because you've had the same insurance company for when you bought the house when it had a shake roof.
Right.
Right. So I always say, call an insurance person, get your roof. Have you had your roof inspected for any kind of damage? Because check on your claim first. So maybe we can get that roof replaced.
Right. Really important.
And I'm really going to try to squeeze this question in. I know we only have a couple minutes left, but what about the no-no on roofs of two layers? So maybe it's shake with composite over it, or maybe it's two composition roofs. Someone took the lazy route, didn't peel off the original roofing, maybe, and so we always love to see one layer.
Right.
That's what we like to see, one layer. But then inevitably somebody gets up in the roof and is like, oh, I see shake, under comp, and then that's a problem. I mean, that's maybe a bigger problem than the shake roof. Or not?
Yeah. Well, the shake roof and, more than one layer of shingles, could be a problem, especially if, you only had one option. We actually, we work with a lot of families that are purchasing new homes, and so they're trying to get their home loan approved. And at the very, very last minute, they're like, oh no, there's 2 layers of shingles and our inspection was done.
But you said it was
what
a new
do we
home.
do?
Oh, you
they're
mean just
buying,
they're buying a resale.
It could be 20 years old.
Gotcha. Not a new construction, but gotcha. They're out buying a house.
But they're buying their first time or their second time, and they're buying, a house, and then, oh no, 30 days before we close,
Wouldn't they have
there's
known
2
that
layers of
beforehand, though?
shingles.
I mean, they would notice that in inspection.
Hopefully. Maybe if they went with you.
Oh, they need
Maybe
to go
I
with
should
me,
ask them.
for
Maybe
sure.
I should ask them about that.
Don't ask. Tell them.
Yeah, maybe
Tell them.
maybe we should we should advise some better real estate options.
Yeah. Well, we're
But,
here to help. And as I frequently say, we solve problems for a profit. I'm getting the wrap up from my producer, Andy.
Okay.
So, Simeon, I have so much to ask you, so I welcome you coming back. So
Okay, yep.
thank you
I would love to answer that
Thank
on
you
the
so much
next
for
one.
being here. Family Union Insurance, Simeon Canha. We look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.